Welcome students. The second video we're going to look at relations that are presented as graphs and determine whether the graphs represent a function or not. If you look at the first graph to the left, it is represented by 3 dots. And if you look at the first dot, it's telling me what? That when I input 2, I get output 5. Notice input 2 only has 1 dot, which means it's just one output assigned to 2. Input 4 has just 1 dot, which means it's assigned 1 output, which is 5. Input 7 also has 1 dot on that line right here for input 7, which means input 7 is assigned 1 output, which is 6. Hence, this first relation is a function because every input is assigned exactly 1 output. Now, let's take a look at the second relation. Now, I want you to, just for now, ignore that line, but just look at the 4 black dots. What is this telling me is that for input 3, if you look at x equals 3, there are 4 dots on that line, which means that for input 3, there are 4 outputs. 3 is assigned to 2, 3 is assigned to 3, 3 is assigned to 5, and 3 is assigned to 6, which means that this relation here is not a function because input 3, or every input, is not assigned exactly 1 output. Now, if you were to connect those 4 dots, it's going to be a vertical line. As a matter of fact, all vertical lines are not functions because vertical lines are really made of infinite little dots stacked up onto each other, which means for that particular input 3, if I were to draw a vertical line, it would have infinite outputs. Now, that is why we use the vertical line test. If you look at this graph, this relation represented by the blue line that looks like a V. If I were to draw a vertical line up at 6, input 6, it touches my graph just 1 time, which means that input 6, I only have 1 output, which is 3. I can draw another vertical line for input 4, and if you notice, it only touches my graph. The vertical line touches the graph just here 1 time, which means that input 4, I have an output, just 1 output, 5. So the vertical line says if you draw basically as many vertical lines as possible, at any point, it only touches, your graph only touches the vertical line that you drew just 1 time, just 1 time, just 1 time, and it is a function. But if your graph touches the vertical line more than 1 time, then it's no longer a function. So take a look at this graph here, represented by 2 curved red lines, the bottom one and the top one. Right away, I could see, for example, I can draw a line right when input 4, notice that my graph has an output here, which is also 4, and my graph has an output here, which is also 6, which means it is not a function. It fails the vertical line test. I could do the same thing. I can draw a vertical line at 8, and I notice that at 8, I have this output, 3, and for input 8, I have this output, 7, which again fails the definition of a function. In Spanish, en español. Aquí vamos a ver relaciones representadas como gráficas y queremos saber si son funciones o no. Esta primera relación es representada por 4 puntos. Si se dan cuenta, eso significa aquí cuando la x es 2, la entrada es 2, solamente hay un punto. Entonces significa hay una salida. Solamente puedo tener el output 5. Similarmente, cuando tengo la entrada 4, solamente hay un punto, solamente una salida. La salida es 5. Cuando tengo la entrada 7, solamente hay un punto para esa salida, esta entrada. Entonces, cuando la entrada es 7, voy a tener una salida que es 6. Entonces, esta relación sigue siendo una función porque cada input está asignado exactamente un output. Aquí se dan cuenta, ignoran la línea por favor, pero miren solamente los 4 puntos que son de color negro. Aquí dice que para el input 3, entonces cuando x es 3 aquí, hay 4 puntos. Entonces hay 4 posibilidades en esta relación. 3 me puede dar 2, input 3 me puede dar salida 3, input 3 me puede dar salida 5, input 3 me puede dar salida 6. Y si conecto esos puntos, puedo mirar a una línea vertical. Por eso cada línea vertical no es una función, porque en verdad una línea es miles de puntitos, infinitos puntitos. Entonces, una línea vertical te dice, para esa entrada tienes infinitas posibilidades de salidas. Entonces, no son funciones. Ahora, miren esta gráfica, la gráfica azul. Esta gráfica, si dibujo una línea vertical, por ejemplo, cuando x es 3 aquí, choca mi gráfica solamente una vez. Si sigo, no choca. Aquí también. X es 4, choca mi gráfica cuando X es 5, pero continúa y no choca. Entonces, este sigue siendo una función porque pasa el examen de la línea vertical. No importa cuál línea vertical yo dibujo, siempre mi gráfica, la gráfica azul, va a tocar solamente esa línea vertical una vez. Esta gráfica está representada por dos líneas de color rojo. Si dibujo una línea vertical, por ejemplo, cuando la entrada es 4, veo que choca, la gráfica choca aquí cuando Y es 4 y también choca aquí cuando Y es 6. Entonces, esta relación representada por la gráfica roja no es una función porque no pasa el examen de la línea vertical. Porque no importa cuál línea vertical yo dibujo, si por lo menos una línea vertical falla, ya no es una función.